Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube video on multi-table tournaments. This is ideally going to be a multi-part video series where I look at different stages of the tournament. Got a few different games going on, no limit 5-card draw, no limit hold'em, PLO. This guy draws one card, makes me think he started with 2-pair. Not sure why I called with my kings. Guess I'm a bit of a fish. I don't think you should be opening open-ended draws like this. I decided to 3-bet my 7s against button open, who I don't really have much info on. I think taking the lead, being aggressive, has a lot of advantages there. You take down the pot immediately. I can protect my hand. Villain should be raising a lot. I 3-bet here around the size of the pot. I guess I could draw to a gut shot 4, but rather draw to a pair of aces. Again, I 3-bet around pot size. I raise around pot size. Not a great flop here. It's going to be pretty scary for villain if he doesn't have any of that. And we've got enough money left that he could have low spades, or he could have a king. Not necessarily confident in his kicker. And now I'm playing the board. He's got a jack. He could be worried about me having a king, but I'm going to give him credit here. And I don't really want to call it chop anyway. I think this was a mistake here, limping with 2s under the gun. Just simply too likely. Well, you just have to play very tight from under the gun. Now, I think I should adjust for the fact that there's antes in my opening amount. A pot size raised would be to 300 5 times. I know that's not standard, but just because everybody does something doesn't mean it's right. So maybe min raising isn't proper strategy. Maybe that's something that everybody's wrong about. Maybe I should be opening for pot instead of min raising all the time in tournaments. Here, table 4, following the principle, which I don't think can be stressed enough. You check and fold weak hands, and you bet and raise strong hands. A lot of times people succumb to fancy play syndrome, and they want to extract maximum or whatever. But really, poker is just about playing straight up. Now, there are, I don't want to talk in absolutes here. There are lots of places where deception's key, but you should really only start practicing that after you've really mastered playing straight up. I guess thoughts on value sizing, thoughts on bet sizing there. What's best? Half pot, full pot? the fact that my opponent drew 1 and didn't raise indicates to me a draw, weak draw, maybe flush draw could be. So if that's the case, if he's got like a gut shot, open ended, or flush draw, then I really don't want to be betting much there. On a bet so that he can call me with his river weak pair, and I want to be able to fold or get away cheaply should he have made a superior hand to mine. So I'm going to experiment with opening more for pot instead of min raising. Kind of wish I'd min raised. Now I'm going to fold here. This guy seems reasonable enough in 12 hands, and King Jack is a pretty weak hand, so 360's pot. I'm going to try it. Problem here is if I get action, unless they draw 3, just 3. I'm going to keep the king, just in case he also has aces. Also, keeping 2 is supposed to terrify him into not betting, right? I raised big free. I kept 2, indicating trips, and he leads out for full pot. So I'm gonna fold, pretty sure. You know, I'm tempted to call just to show that my read is correct, but that's not good poker, obviously. But because the stakes are so low, you know, that it really doesn't matter. I'm really curious what this guy has, and then if I'm wrong, I get chips, and if I'm right, I'm right. But now I'm gonna fold. I kept 2, so sort of representing trips. I raised big free, representing trips. If he didn't believe me, you know, he would check and call, or he thinks that I'm bluffing and he missed, so he's got to bluff. But fold. He also limped in. I wish this told you what he did on the flop. I think he limped. Yeah, he limped in. So if he was going to take the aggressive line and bluff, why would he have taken sort of the loose passive line earlier? But who knows, right? Maybe he just he drew 3, so he probably had a pair to begin with, a pair of aces maybe, and he caught an ace, or you know, he could have filled up. That's pretty unlikely. Drawing 3, it's possible, it's really unlikely. I think there's a case for betting the turn here. Pretty strong case for betting the turn with all the weakness that my opponent's shown. Pretty good opportunity to take down the pot, protect my likely best hand. If you get check raised, it's no big deal because we don't have much of a hand anyway, and we certainly don't have much of a draw. Just this guy wins. No idea what the hell everybody was going all in with there. It might be a juicy table. I think this is a pretty good format. There's a lot of action. I like having the different games in here to give it sort of a variety. I haven't played that much No Limit 5-card draw. I mean, who has, right? Sort of an interesting two-way hand here. Just all open. I gotta say, I really don't like this opening for pot thing I'm trying out. All right, we'll see if you do it again. Probably should just call or fold it here. I mean, it's it's not even a pot open. Pot would have been 360. So I got the option of keeping the jacks. When he draws 2, I'm definitely keeping the jacks. I don't think this guy's got trips. Yeah, he was trying to he was taking a cat hop. He was drawing 2 to a flush. So this guy might be a bit of a drooler here. Texista. And if he limps in, I'm gonna pot it. I'm gonna pot it out of the way. 240, 280, 400. Kind of sucks if I get 3-bet. You gotta figure they got 2-pair at least if they're 3-betting. Or even the other aces, which they got a king. You know, give me a dog. Pretty nice dog, I'm sure. I think 6 actually works really well as a number of tables, maybe better than 8. You don't have an opportunity to really consider what's going on, and 4, it's just a little slow paced, especially when you consider my nitty style. If you're legging it up and just really playing aggressively and loose, then maybe 4 is a little better. So there's something going on. I'm going to adjust my preferences for just set them up for 6 max. So probably going to fire one shot and give up here, out of position. Pretty dry flop. Obviously, I will continue on 7s. Don't really. It's a pretty dry flop. So if he's got 5-7 and 9-7, I'm winning, but I've got 2 7s, so that's less likely. The great pot odds I'm getting don't really matter that much because if I'm behind, I'm only drawing to 2 outs, so I'm a 20-1 dog. And I don't think I can really check raise to try to get him to fold, especially after his suspicious bet sizing. Sort of the case of he's telling me to bet, so I can't bet because he'll know that I'm bluffing because he showed so much weakness with his small bets. 5. This is a pretty obvious spot to bluff or to bet, not bluffing. 4-way pot, everybody checks to me. I've got pretty strong hand, so I mean you can make a case for betting any 2 cards there. Certainly, betting king queen seems to be a no-brainer. I don't see much merit in slow playing. My hand's pretty vulnerable. It is a dry board. And if a queen or a king comes on the turn, they will put me on king queen. But I think there's more value in taking it down, protecting my hands. Really need another Red Bull. So quick grab one. All right, got a little taurine. Little 80 milligram of. Oh my God, I had 2 pair there. I didn't see it. I swear. I had queen 3-7-7 something. Not so. Usually when you got some random dude limping in and a fish limping in, you got 2 pair. You want to fold it. So just the more you know. The more you know. 1975 for Doogie on the button. Whole field's in. Take a shot. Got nice playability. Certainly one of the easiest calls I've ever had to make here. 25 more, can't re-raise. Oh, Wiggy. Where is Wiggy? All right, so I open for 3 times, and I get 3-bet by a guy who looks really nitty over 14 hands. Pretty weak sample size, but I have to go on something. I'm going to fold. Check folding this river. Yes, 5s. I got to fold. He's got tight stats. Ace Queen is not the hand you want to battle with against a tight raiser. We're pretty deep. 80 effective big blinds, no antes. 80 big blinds effective. I'm going to fold. I have kings, ace king, jacks. And the best part is we'll probably get to see what this guy is re-raising with. So often, you're sort of tortured by what could he have had. But here we're probably going to know because Zitos is all in already. So the only time we're not going to know what Wiggy has if this hand doesn't go to showdown. But like for him, if he folds before showdown, 10s, jacks. So actually, results oriented. Should have, well, I guess results oriented. I'm glad I folded. Results oriented. I should have got an in versus 10s and jacks. Some nice equity favorite there. Kind of surprised that newcomer had jacks there. He's got sort of fishy stats. He didn't raise with them once, and not sure why that would be. Here, 3-handed, flop middle pair, and bet it. And this Lacho guy calls. I feel like I'm going to bet that turn again. You could definitely, and then check fold the river if he calls, probably. He could have the 8. He could have, 6s or something that has me beat. Not really sure what he can have calling there. I think like 5-6 might have been double gut. Yeah, 5-6 was double gut. 3-5s open-ended. There's some gut shots, but no flush draw. So I mean, he could be floating with like overcards or something else. Maybe he's got the 4 himself, ace 4 or something. So I guess I'm going to end this video right now, and then I'm going to do a few more videos from this tournament series. Hopefully we'll get some final tables. That'd be nice. Yippee has been limping in a bit, and 3, 4, 500 in a pot. I'm gonna take a shot at it. Oh, that worked wonderfully. It's sort of a optimistic limp here, I think, too. But, so much for that theory. Should have cut the video off before I showed you that hand. I was kind of thinking, this guy's limping in a bit. He might fold to my push. I might take it down uncontested. Probably optimistic on my part. Anyway, so I'm gonna end this video here, and then I will probably start another one in a little bit on this tournament series.